and be out here.
But really though, that's an option. Your birth certificate, that's not mandatory.
Yeah.
And that's the whole trap. That's the whole trap. When you born, you don't need. That's why if it's mandatory, why do you have to apply for it?
Right.
If you have to apply for it, that means it's not mandatory. That means you're choosing to apply to get something. If you apply for a job because you want the job, you apply for the car because you want the car. You apply for the birth certificate because you want the birth certificate. It's not a mandatory thing. And that's where the whole straw man come into play. If you don't know what the straw man is, look that up. Okay? Look that up.
More legal means.
More legal means. A straw man is you on paper. A straw man is you on paper. You can basically, if you get a ticket, you can send paperwork documentation with your signature and whatever you need for that particular visit at court. You can send that off fax machine or mail, whatever. That's just as good as you being there. Because notice this, when you go to court, you're there, but they don't address you for shit. The only time they talk to you is when they want you to say whether or not you're guilty. They don't talk to you, or they want you to explain yourself when they give you a chance to say something just because you're there. But in reality, the only thing that's going on is what's on paper, that judge talking to that lawyer. So if you're not a citizen, legally speaking, you won't know that. To defend yourself is the only way to go to court. See?
So yeah, it's that's why I said having legal information, it can be a big advantage, especially out here in America.
So, as I was saying, let's get back to this light. The human body is the synthesizer of consciousness. The sun is the source of our level of consciousness. We already covered that. Oh, yeah. The body is a container that limits the consciousness within and traps it in place so that it can learn the necessary lessons in order to move to the next octave or the next reality, the next octave of reality.
Transformation.
See? So we're in the third density. Well, now we're in the fourth density, third dimension. That's basically, we're in the dimension of learning. We need to learn how to love. The next density or dimension, the fourth, is the dimension and density of love. So in order to get to love, one must learn how to love. So we're in the third, learning how to love. Then when you get to love, you have to understand why you learned how to love. And then the next level, the fifth, is understanding. You see how we go? In order to get to the next, just like a grade, and it's just like a school. In order to get to the next level, you're learning what you need to know in order to get to the next one. It's the same thing. We're here in basically a school. People that don't learn a lesson, they come back.
Right.
It's like reincarnation.
It's not a race, it's a marathon.
But it's not like you're going to come back as an animal.
Right. Just...
Or maybe in some cultures, maybe you can. Because, you know, your reality is based on your perception.
Yeah, because other cultures do feel they will become animals.
Not countries, but civilizations, like Native Americans in particular. Yeah. They have this thing, Skinwalker. Let's look that up. Skinwalker. It's basically like let's just look it up. Skinwalker. Native American.
Let's see what he come up with.
In Navajo culture, a skinwalker, or in Navajo tongue, it's Yi Nael Dushi, is a type of harmful witch who has the ability to turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal. So you know, that's kind of different. It's a skinwalker, but their whole thing is about animals. So it's like the great, you know, the great spirit of the eagle is the sky. The great spirit of the wolf is the woods. Like they imply the animalistic side of the human existence, which is fine. So when they come back, if they did good, they might come back as a soaring eagle. If they did bad, they might have to come back as a snake that's crawling on the ground.
Serpent.
But like this one. So let's keep it moving.
Go ahead.
This is a good one, man. We almost done.
Oh yeah.
My brother Q, he asked me about Yaqub. Yaqub. For the people that's into that, Yaqub, for the Muslims, for the Hebrew Israelites, if y'all know about the Yaqub, y'all post in the comments, man. Let's see if we can break this down.
Yeah,
Yaqub.
I'm sure they got their own views on that.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the Wikipedia edition.
I don't think you spelled it right.
So this is the basic This is the basic like story of Yaqub, but of course it goes way deeper, way deeper. And if need be, we will do a podcast on just that.
Yeah.
But here it is. In the beliefs of the Nation of Islam, Yaqub, sometimes spelled Yacub or Yaqub, was a black scientist who lived 6,600 years ago and began the creation of the white race. He is said to have done this through the form of selective breeding referred to as grafting, while living on the island of Patmos. The Nation of Islam theology states that Yaqub is the biblical Jacob. All other branches of Islam, as well as Christianity and Judaism, reject this assertion. The story has caused disputes within the Nation of Islam during its history. Under its current leader, Louis Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam continues to assert that the story of Yaqub is true, claiming that the modern scientist that modern science is consistent with it. So, I mean, like I said,
So you think Yaqub is who they say he is?
this is just the face of the story. It goes so much deeper. This is not even. I can't even answer that question based on this information. Like they start talking about inner Earth beings, aliens, breeding like one tribe and another tribe.
Omniverse.
Two big.
type shit too?
No, not omniverse. Just inner Earth beings.
Oh,
Two tribes of inner Earth beings that came from the super Earth and what Mars used to be, which was like Earth, but the Mars used to be like our Earth, but it orbited around the super Earth, and they also had a moon. So this is the story. So it's like two big head tribes. One tribe was from the Mars, and the other tribe was from the super Earth.
Yeah.
So maybe I could be butchering this. People, please do your own research. Don't take my word as bun. But this is from my memory, from my understanding. Two big head tribes. They're both. I think one was blue and one was black, or maybe they was both black, like dark skin. In some, it was some other race that. I'm really forgetting, but some white race or some albino had something to do with why they despise the white race, or something like that. But what ended up happening is the daughter of the king in one and the son of the king in the other tribe, it was like a dispute going on. They was like warring with the tribes were warring with each other, but they made a truce if they got married. Yeah. So they got married, and the son of them was Yaqub. So the two big head, they had different shaped head. Like one was like more round, and the other one was like more elongated. Right. But Yaqub they said he had 3 brains, and he was highly intelligent and knew science, all kind of shit at like 5, and his head was extremely big, and something happened with some albino. Something happened, but he ended up wanting to make a race that he ruled, and through selective breeding, he killed off a lot of people. He did a lot of shit, but eventually he created the Caucasian race. Yeah. And it was like a boat involved. They went across the sea. It was a whole bunch of shit. But I urge y'all again to do this reading, bro. Because even though the story might not be factual, it's just like the Bible. You learn something within it. It's a parable for something. You need to find the truth within it. That's all it really is. I'm about to light this blunt up. We gonna close. We almost there. This a good one, bro. This a good one for real. Yeah. Now, the holographic universe. When we start talking about, go ahead.
It's holographic, as in what they trying to get you to see was really not there, or what they trying to perceive.
Not hologram.
You said holographic.
Holographic. Hologram and holograph is 2 different things.
So explain.
Hologram is a hollow projection of something that's actually somewhere else, or like a computer generated projection of something. That's what I just said. But a holographic is a multi-dimensional space that exists within one space. So just like you get like one of them Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh card, and it has like a layer of film over it, that when you move it, it allows you to see different dimensions within a flat surface. So that's what a holograph is. A hologram is like if this is like, it looked like it's here, but you can put your hand right through it. That's not the same thing. It's almost the same, but it's not. They're both hollow. it relates to being an empty space, but it is something there, seemingly on one sense or another.
Yeah.
So the holographic universe implies a multiverse. That multiverse may exist within the layers of our own reality.
Okay, speak to him.
So to bring this reality to surface, you can get it done by procrastination or meditation, focusing on oneself within oneself, or you can take it by way of psychedelics, LSD or mushrooms, psychedelic mushrooms. And speaking of mushrooms, the whole Christian mythos, it's a book called The Christian Myth and the Mushroom, or something like that. Or the Mushroom and the Cross. That's what it's called. The Mushroom and the Cross. And it's basically talking about how the spiritual stories, the experiences that was told down orally through traditions, that eventually became religions, all started with psychedelic experience. Because think about this for a second.
Just a gateway drug.
No, not a gateway drug. The gateway to higher knowledge and shit, yeah. So think about this. The Son of God, right? God is in the sky, right? When it rains, overnight, mushrooms pop up.
Yeah.
Now, ancient spiritual teachings believe that, and I mean ancient, believe that rain was the sperm of God. Yeah. And when the sperm of God rained down, his children popped up. Mushrooms. Overnight. It's not like a tree. It's not like a flower. It takes time to bloom and all that other shit. Yeah. Overnight, they pop up. Yeah. They go out and eat it. Then whatever DNA, the sperm, whatever DNA that came from God that produced this organism that I ingested, that they ingested, gave them the piece of infinite, or just that spectrum of there's more than just this reality. That's what all of this shit come from. The Son of God is a mushroom. If you look under the mushroom cap, it looks like a halo. Go look up the old pictures of Catholics in the cathedrals when they have saints and their halo is around them. The original paintings and original drawings, they depicted them. If you look at a cap, if you look under the cap of a mushroom and look at that halo, they have the similar lines. It has the similar. It's the same thing. So that halo represented a person that was on the psychedelic mushroom, that was in that higher state of mind that could connect to God, even if it was just one, like a tiny fraction more than what they normally, just a regular human. They have that higher knowledge. They became the shaman. They became the preachers. They became the spiritual people of their village or of their tribe. Yeah. The one that they came to for the guidance of the gods. Because they themselves, and they had all kind of crazy traditions. They had traditions where the priest would it's like this, it's a leather strip of jaguar. They made leather out of jaguar hide, right? Yeah. Then they put like these thorns into it. And then what they would do, the shamans, the high priest of a village, like a particular village. I think it's the Mayans or something. I really forgot. I'm sorry if it's not the Mayans. They would put it through their scrotum, which is the sac, the ball sac. Not cutting the balls, not cutting them off, but just through the scrotum. They would like scrape it through, and through the pain, they would experience psychedelic. They would also eat psychedelic mushrooms, and they would have crazy psychedelic visions for hours, just scraping a scrotum with this thorn jaguar leather strip, just in a daze, just gone. And then the blood would drip off into a cup or a bowl, and what the bowl would have leaves in it. The blood would be on the leaves. They let it dry. Then the lower priest, the priest that's learning from the higher priest, would smoke the leaves and then trip balls. Because remember, he's eating psychedelics. The blood from him has that substance in it. It's spilling onto the leaf. They let it dry. What happens when blood dries? It crystallizes. Right. Crystal, liquid crystal. Again, it crystallizes. They smoke the leaf. The crystallized, synthesized psychedelic like whatever it was that they ate, then acts and triggers another psychedelic trip. Well, then they talk to God and they come back with these revelations.
See.
And that's where all of this come from. So for
connected.
all the Christians and all the religions that's telling you don't do drugs and mind altering, and that's only because of the law. That's only because of the war on drugs that started with the Clinton administration and all this other stuff. Like, but trust me, and believe. This ain't no accident that the stuff that frees your mind, the stuff, because it's all about the mental. They trying to keep you mentally enslaved.
Yeah, right.
So the stuff that frees your mind, the one person that move against the grain is the cancer. Because then they start spreading, they start spreading their energy, and then what happens in their system? You got a cancerous cell in their body, and then what happens? They can't remove this. They do remove it. They kill us. They do what they got to do. But if you can't, then the whole body eventually dies.
Right. So, well, with that being said,
So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and close this one out, man. This was a good one. It's a good one, bro.
So there was a lot of good information shared. Hopefully the people do their own research and get their own take on it.
You know what I'm saying? We got the
what's that?
We got the CBD moon rock. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep that stress down with the organic shit, man. You got to keep the stress down.
I'm high.
All kind of stuff. But here we go. We good. I'm about to light this one up. With peace and love, man. The Godcast. It was fun.
Oh yeah, sure. Till next time, more information gonna be shared to the people. So this is our outro. Hit the music.
It's coming.